for Deconstruction.
Alright, anyway, we're recording, but...
I'm eating food.
Well, it's a hard deconstruction. I'm here with Danny. You can find us at hard deconstruction on tumblr.com.
You didn't ask me what my name was. It's not Danny.
Oh, what is it?
Jubilee.
From the X-Men?
From the X-Men. I shoot fireworks out of my tits.
Is it... Wait, is it X-Men, the movie with... wait, did they have like two different Jubilees in that movie?
Oh, actually, speaking of X-Men, I am really excited now for the new X-Men movie, the past and present, whatever the hell it's called. And now there's talking about an apocalypse movie.
The next
after
one,
that. That's exciting. That's really
you
cool.
like Apocalypse?
I mean, if they get into Age of Apocalypse, I don't know if they're going to, but like...
Yeah, that's the next one. If Bryan Singer's not too busy fucking little boys.
If it's just Apocalypse as a villain, that's really cool too. But if they get in the Age of Apocalypse, like if he like recruits Angel and all this kind of stuff, like that.
It's the first time I'm actually pretty interested in what they're gonna do with X-Men movie, because I didn't really. You like the movies, right? Or no?
I mean, the third one was a little weak. The second one was a little weak.
Funny
The
enough,
Wolverine movies were weak.
I had like the third one the most out of all of them, and that was like by shitty Brett Ratner because it was just action.
I just didn't like what they did with Phoenix, but you know, like this, I have a good feeling about this because they're combining two casts. Like that's sick. So,
and I think Bryan Singer, what he wants to do with the next one, he wants to recast all the older X-Men. He's gonna have a whole new cast and do it, I guess, in the style of how First Class was.
Hugh Jackman would be upset about that. Hugh Jackman loves it.
No, I think Hugh Jackman is like, I think after the next one is his last, like, because he has to do another Wolverine,
right?
And then Apocalypse, and I think Apocalypse will probably be his last one with Wolverine because I think he's kind of done.
I mean,
that's horrible.
We live in a very lucky time period for comic book movies and shit. I'm saying.
What about people in third world countries? Are they living in a time?
They have X-Men movies, so I don't care about their problems.
Can they really watch it? Do they film project it on toilet paper?
You know what? When they die, they'll watch it in heaven. Nah, I mean, we as people who are in the comic books live in a great time period because we had like Mortal Kombat when we were growing up, and that was about it. And then all of a sudden, it's like everything you want comes out. Oh, it's good. Oh, Batman always too. But
so, are you interested in the Godzilla movie?
I am interested only because Bryan Cranston is in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. That's the reason why. And it also has what's his name from the new Avengers movie? You know, who plays the Fast? I don't know, the Fast Man, whoever the fuck it is.
Who? Quicksilver?
Yeah, that guy, Aaron Johnson. And it's funny because then Tate from American Horror Story is playing Quicksilver in the X-Men movie. So.
Oh, Kit, yeah, right, okay.
So I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I heard there was some kind of like rights thing that they couldn't.
Right. You can't like the way that they're using Quicksilver in the Avengers movies. Marvel doesn't have or Marvel Studios like Disney doesn't have the rights to call him a mutant. They can't use mutants. So they're gonna have to. They're using it in the way that it's that it deals with magic instead.
That's retarded, but whatever. The design for Kit was really stupid looking, I gotta say.
But I heard from a review that he was like one of the best things ever in the movie. So that's what I'm like, oh, okay.
Either way, I'm seeing the movie. Even if I knew for a fact it would be terrible, I'm still seeing it.
Because from the stuff that I saw, it looked pretty good. Like his movements, because everything slows down when he moves.
Right.
But then I had also seen it. Like I was talking about the Flash trailer earlier. That's going to be on CW because that's like a spinoff of the show called Arrow. That it's like a cult show, kind of like I guess Supernatural or any of those other shows.
I've heard of it.
But I never watched it. People say it's good, but I just can't kind of get into those shows because I immediately think of how cheap they are.
Right.
And I don't want to bother with it. And but anyway, the Flash trailer looked actually pretty good. But I think it's something I could probably watch the first episode and then not give a shit.
I don't really have interest in DC at all. I mean,
yeah, because they have another thing called Constantine that's coming out. You know, remember that movie?
I've heard that with Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves movie. Where I mean, I saw it. I think I saw most of it.
I heard it wasn't good.
That's what people say. From what I always catch it from the second half, and I like it. But then they have like I forgot the name of the actress, but she kind of looks androgynous, and she plays like the angel Michael or something like that.
Okay.
But the whole art design in Satan looks fucking amazing in that movie. Because Satan is played by this German actor, and he walks around and he just has this black tar coming out of his mouth.
He has like a little toothbrush mustache.
He goes, "Oof, auf, du Lieber." But But the new show,
Heidi Klum is his she-devil.
because they
mistress.
changed, they changed Steele's in the back somewhere. He's like, please, human beings. But I guess they're faithful character-wise, because in the comic book, I think it's called Hellblazer, and his character's name is John Constantine.
Okay.
And he's like a British guy or an English guy,
Right.
I don't know, same shit, whatever. And he has like this.
Oh, we're in a pizza place, by the way. That's what all this noise is.
It's really annoying, right? But and Danny did something so horrendous. He ate his pizza, and then I guess he must have spilled garlic on top of the green tray that everybody uses, and he actually put his finger on it, swabbed it, and put it in his mouth. I almost vomited watching it. And he talked normally. I kept my cool, but I almost threw up because I was disgusted by it.
They clean them. They clean them.
With their saliva and their assholes.
No, they clean it.
Anyway, so Constantine is this British guy, and of course when they made the movie, Keanu Reeves is as far as British as possible.
Right.
And he has a trench coat, and it's funny because then there's this show called Supernatural that comes on, and there's a character named...
My dad says that's a good show. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
it's been going on for like nearly 10 years, so
Okay.
there is like a cult group for it. And there's a character that, I guess people are going to shit on him for it, but he wears a trench coat, and he's like a fallen angel, and people are like, oh, why is Constantine ripping it off? And I'm like, Constantine's like from the 1980s and shit, so like,
Right.
obviously they must have borrowed from that, but I'm sure people will start pitching that. But the trailer
I mean,
looked
they
all
didn't
right.
invent trench coats either, you know? Like,
But,
trench coats are a look. It's a style.
but I don't know, I mean, it's an NBC show, so I don't know how much
Right.
they can, I mean, they get away with
I know a lot of people will be very angry when I say this, but all those types of shows, like Buffy and Charmed and all that shit, like I have no interest in seeing any of them. And I know people like love that stuff, but I don't know.
In defense of, I understand what you're saying. It kind of feels like episodic.
It feels like soap
X-Files,
operas,
though,
kind of.
or something.
X-Files was okay.
But it's basically the same. The thing I will say is that Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I still say to this day, the first 3 seasons are some of the best television.
Right.
Like, I mean, literally, it is some of the
I mean,
best
people
TV
go
ever.
on and on about it, but I think I took it personally because I remember the Buffy movie and I saw it in theaters and I loved it.
Yeah.
And then,
Then you would love the show because the show is written by the same guy.
but it was a different actress. It wasn't like funny
Christy
seeming
Swanson.
at all or anything like that. It just seemed
No, it
like
was very funny. It
Was
was
it?
really, really funny.
I mean, this was like my thought process when I was like
Right.
16 or something. But you know.
I will say if it's on Netflix, at least give the first 3 seasons. I kind of fell off after the 4th season because I was like,
yeah.
because they kind of got too much into, like, there's this character named Spike who's an English guy. He's like one of those characters that was supposed to be there for like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But, like, the girls' panties got wet watching him, so they were like, oh, keep him on. So they keep him on and they
Right.
force him into the storyline kind of thing.
Okay.
So whatever, but I guess, you know, don't you hate it when they bring outside stories into canon of a show? Like I
Yeah.
watch, like, Hannibal. Like, I love that show. It's like, to me, it's like the best.
What did they bring in?
No, I mean, they switched around. I didn't give a shit because I don't really care. I don't follow the canon of the books. I know most about it.
Oh, right.
It's kind of like Game of Thrones where I'll read you read the novels, right? Have you read the
Actually,
books or
I
not?
haven't read the books, and that's
Okay.
still on my to-do list.
Because
Like, for sure.
they're
The
trying
show is
to-
amazing.
But with Hannibal, I only like read the Wikipedia about it because I remember I saw Silence of the Lambs. I like that.
Yeah.
I saw Manhunter, like the second half of that, which is really good. Manhunter is basically Red Dragon. Red
Okay.
Dragon they remade with Edward Norton.
I've read like 3 of those books. I read Red Dragon or whatever it was called, and I read Silence of the Lambs, and then Hannibal after it. And their books are better, except for Silence of the Lambs.
Because I
It's
mean,
a
the
good
book
movie.
is always going to be better.
Silence of the Lambs actually the movie's just as good or better, but the Hannibal movie was not.
Oh man, I didn't like that
Yeah,
movie
no.
at all. Like I was like, what the fuck? And then I read the storyline of what happened in the book, and I was like, this shit is stupid.
I don't even remember at this point because it was years ago when I read it, but like
because in the novels,
I
don't know
remember
if
it was better.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's spoiler for the show because there's a character in the film played by Gary Oldman and Mason Berger, the guy with the face that was all cut up. And
Yeah,
was, like,
yeah, yeah.
Really, that was probably
That
the
was
only
one of
good-
his patients.
That was
yeah.
probably one of the only good things about the movie is this guy that
Is he in the
Hannibal-
show Hannibal now?
Yeah, but he's played by Michael Pitt, the American version of Funny Games. I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if you saw that one, but did we? Oh, we reviewed the original version.
Yeah.
the German one.
It's the same
But
thing.
he's playing like an eccentric weirdo
Right.
version of it, which is fine. But his sister's in the show as well now. She was originally in the show in the books.
Yeah.
She wasn't in Hannibal the movie at all.
Right.
Because the reason why Hannibal got to speak with him was through his sister, because his sister wanted to kill him, and they're bringing that into the show, which is really awesome. I mean, the Hannibal show is so fucking good. I'm like, it kind
I've
of
seen like the first half of the first season, and
and you weren't impressed, right?
No, I loved it. It was great. I just there was something
like-
about it that didn't like make me so dying to see the next episode. But artistically, it's awesome. It has a Twin Peaks feeling to it.
I think
like,
you
for
would,
real.
it's only like 13 episodes a season. Then I think
That
you'd
is,
really-
I am going to watch it. I promised
have
you
to.
I would, and you in return have to watch Twin Peaks.
I thought it was Doctor Who or something. I have to watch Twin Peaks. Okay.
I'm telling you, Twin Peaks, yeah.
Yeah, remember I said- so
Doctor
I took-
Who is like 8 seasons. I'm not going to make you watch that, like, well, actually 8 seasons. It's like 50 years old.
I
But
might watch the new season of Doctor Who just because of that new old Doctor. 'cause
you
it
can't
seems like
watch.
an asshole.
You can't watch out of sequence. You have to watch it, like, watch it for real. No, I want you to watch Twin Peaks. You watch the show, then watch the movie.
All right.
It's only 2 seasons.
So did you see the Blu-rays coming out with 90
And
minutes?
90
of
minutes
extra
of
footage?
yeah.
Who's the director?
David Lynch.
It's probably him on the toilet for 90 minutes talking.
Right. He's just
Make
like
a phonograph.
he
of
just
it.
has like diarrhea. He's like filming close-ups of it and shit. He has like slow pans of diarrhea to pee.
And there's a clown on a tricycle behind him with toilet paper.
Right,
And he's
right.
trying to chase him.
No, you gotta watch that show. You gotta watch it.
All right, so Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
I'm watching it so far, and I see that. I think I got up.
It's
I was watching
amazing.
the first episode, and I saw the part where the Japanese lady shut down the factory.
The mill
because
or-
of, yeah.
The first episode is
Is the opening that long every episode?
No.
Like the opening
Oh,
credits?
yeah, the opening credits are that.
I was watching it. It was like
No, I love it.
And I was like, this is 5 minutes long. This opening.
I love the opening credits. It's so relaxing and like lovable.
Like no, I said it. It's pretty cool. Like I'm.
You like come to be like like every time you see the waterfall, you get happy.
I was just upset that they didn't have that kid breakdancing in every episode. The one who breakdances away from his locker in the first episode.
Was it Bobby?
This fat kid that was dancing away from his locker. Don't you remember that? It was in the first episode.
Uh,
It's just so in the first episode they show who's the hot girl in the class. She has like a
Audrey. Audrey
whatever. There's 2 girls that look exactly alike, and I thought it was
You're
the
thinking
same
of
actress.
Donna and
Whatever
yeah.
the 2 girls are, and they walk away from the shot, and some sick of fat kid, and he starts breakdancing next to his locker and
I'm
walks
not
away.
like recalling
It's
this
the
scene though.
I just looked at it and I was like, "Is this for real? Did this really just happen?"
I'm gonna have to watch the show all over again.
Yeah, I'll give it a look, but I was just like very confused. But it wasn't bad. But for some reason, I just didn't.
The
I
first,
stopped
well, the
watching
first episode is like everything with David Lynch.
But wait a minute,
it
no.
starts off slow and it's hard
it.
to get into.
It wasn't Hannibal. I told you to watch. It was We're Alive.
What do you want? Which one?
The series. The
No,
show.
which one should I watch? Hannibal or?
No, you should watch Hannibal anyway, but you should watch We're Alive. It's finishing in June.
All
July.
this noise is a bunch of people moving out of their chairs right now.
And then, yeah, and then one is like this older lady. She fucking sneezed off to her mouth in my direction. This old guy. Yeesh. What are you covering your face for? They're gonna do nothing. To who? Nobody. Then he has a face of mischief glee in his mouth. Look at it, he's so embarrassed. Meanwhile, he has his genitals hanging out in front of him.
It's true. They're hanging out. I tucked them in my pizza.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to watching, movie-wise?
All the X-Men movies. Well, horror-wise,
Anything, yeah.
non-horror-wise, all the X-Men movies. Like, I still got to see Thor 2, Captain America
That was
2,
alright.
Spider-Man
Captain
2.
America 2 was really good.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
I mean,
with
the
Captain
first one
America.
was great.
Did you
Like,
watch Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Not yet.
It was alright. I mean, it was. Like, I don't know why. Like, I mean, it was like okay. They could have done a lot more.
I want
with
to
that
see
shit.
it. You know, I'm curious. I like the first one, and yeah, so I'm excited for that kind of stuff. Horror-wise, there's nothing right now that I care to see that I know
What was
of.
that? What was that movie? Oculus, starring that redhead from Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah.
There was like a rumor about her that she gets like really drunk and parties hard, and
In
apparently-
real life?
Yeah, and then she was like.
Oh,
at a
she's so
hotel,
hot.
And then she was like at a hotel naked in the hallways because she was drunk.
Right.
And somebody had to like look at you. I could see in your face.
She's super hot.
Pure horniness in your face. But did you ever see that? I don't know if it was a commercial or a joke where she was like playing a air stewardess, you know, on a plane, and then she just takes guys into the bathroom and blows them.
Oh, I would love that.
With her.
Yeah.
She is hot. She's pretty.
She's super hot.
What do you think about? What about his new companion?
She's in there for quite a while. I'm not fully caught up. I know that I've only met the new companion like twice. Like,
She has nice, big, juicy
and
thighs. So
all I
think
could
know
tell
what
about her is that she exists in like 5 different places
Oh,
at the
really?
same time. So it's like, well, how is that possible? But that's what he's trying to figure out
How
right
many
now. Where I'm
companions
up
has
to.
he had over the 8 years?
Over, well,
I know
the show's
because
been like
it's
50
fucking
years, so I
50
couldn't
years.
even begin. But he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 or something.
Does he still have a robot dog?
7. The robot dog does come back. K9 comes back, and
Is it shit batteries?
I guess you could say, like, all together, like 8 come back. It's hard because sometimes people come in and out quickly, like Captain Jack's in there for like a few episodes and stuff. So it's like hard.
Captain Jack.
I don't know if he would count as a companion.
Yeah, he's on that show Arrow now, I guess, Captain Jack.
Well, he did. They had the Torchwood thing, and I'm assuming he was on that. I haven't seen Torchwood.
Yeah. He was the gay character, right?
Yeah. Well, he just has sex with anything.
Oh, really? I thought it was just guys he was into.
No, he's into everybody. He has sex with
Really?
anything that breathes, basically.
Does he have a big hog in his pants in the shows?
Probably. He's awesome. He's like one of my favorite characters. He's just like,
I'll show you this?
he just has sex with everyone.
We're talking really loud. I can't talk because the microphone is
We should probably go outside.
No,
with
it's
this.
because there's children in here. There was a guy with his kid, and we were talking about Captain Jack's big dong in his pants. I think there's a lot of wind out here.
I don't know. Oh, and Unearthed was good. That was Ben Wheatley.
Yeah, that was good. Ben Wheatley does good. Like,
That's
fun.
cool.
Damn, I should be recording, but it's all fucked up.
I mean,
So now we're recording inside your car, and it probably looks like we're giving each other fucking hand jobs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God.
We're in Manhattan. That's true, son. But we're not in Chelsea, so there you go.
Yeah.
But they just showed the fucking what's that movie? Rosemary's Baby, the remake on TV last night. I had no idea it fucking came out. I didn't watch that shit. It's with this girl, that hot chick from Star Trek, Uhuru.
I don't know.
The girl who was banging Spock. I was trying to be very racially sensitive here.
I haven't seen.
Oh yeah? You never seen the Star Trek movies?
I've never seen any Star Trek anything, and I have to, but I haven't.
Who says you have to?
I feel like I'm obligated to.
I used to watch the original series. It wasn't that bad.
I love Star Wars. I have nothing against Star Trek.
You like the Phantom Menace?
No, I hate it
You
actually.
like the Attack of the Clones?
It's pretty bad.
Or what was the last one? Return of the Samurais?
Return of the Samurai.
No, it was ROTS. I remember that was a joke.
Sith.
Rise of the Sith. There you go.
Sith.
Because that was the whole joke. Cause
I don't like any of the.
rocks.
I don't like any of the new ones. I'm hoping I'll like the new ones.
You think they'll put Jar Jar in the new one at all?
If they do, I'm like not watching it.
You don't
If I find out any fucking glimpse of him is in the movie, I'm not going to the movie.
They might show him blow up or something, to appease the fans, because J.J. Abrams.
Then I would see it.
Because somebody on AintItCool.com was writing that that it was really a movie for kids, but there was a whole bunch of shit in that
Those
movie.
movies are so bad.
There was a bunch of shit that Red Letter Media pointed out that, there was a bunch of boring shit in the movies that kids would not get, like, talking about separatists
and like
and
trade
yeah, who
federation.
gives a fuck? Like, I watched it and I still don't know what that movie's about. I don't know what the Star Trek... Like, the original Star Wars movies, I know there were bad guys. There's good guys. They kidnapped the princess.
The originals are amazing.
And I only saw the first one. I didn't really see the other two. But it's
Really?
just like, the storyline is pretty simple.
Empire's like the best one. In my opinion.
It's rebels fighting a giant, evil galactic force. And then the second one was about the Trade Federation and money and Klaxnars and whatever the fuck they're
It's
talking
just
about.
showing the main point of it, what it's supposed to be about.
They're trying to show the
is-
degradation and the rise of the Emperor, right?
Yeah, and Darth Vader, how his like origin and stuff, and like.
Who gives a shit? Why would you want to show the origin? I guess because Darth...
Yeah, they could have done it cool. They just fucked it all up.
How
They
would
had-
you have done Darth Vader's origin?
I mean, they could have done a lot of what they did, but like minus all nonsense of like Jar Jar fucking Bing. I hate that guy.
You wouldn't have kept in Yippee!
No.
Go ahead, do it.
Yippee!
No, this is pod racing.
Oh god, it makes me angry. Like it makes me angry. That kid is like bitter and shit now. Like he's
Yeah.
like hated. Like everyone hates him.
What about Hayden Christensen, who played the older Anakin, Analkin?
He's like pretty bad. The third one was definitely better than the other two.
I'll just say Ewan McGregor was good in all of them. That's all. He's good. I like Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's just a shame that they used him for those, and he can't be in the new ones, because they have a whole new cast. I got.
Well, like all the old actors are returning, like Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
and Mark
apparently
Hamill.
the new one is focused mostly on Han Solo.
I don't know. I actually have no idea what they're going to be about.
But
I
that's
think
rumors,
George
who
Lucas
knows?
is disregarding all the novels that came after, because
but he has nothing to do with the new ones. He's probably just. They probably, George, what should we do? And he goes like, I'm too busy humping my hot wife.
Well,
Hey.
they're disregarding all the novels as far as I know. Like, they're not gonna have Mara Jade or any of this kind of stuff. Like, they're not gonna have. Like,
Tell me Chewbacca's not gonna explode on his home planet and die.
That's
what happened in the books. He dies in the canon of the books.
Really?
Yeah, they blow up his.
I
planet.
haven't read. I've only read maybe like 8 of them.
Well,
like,
it's got nothing to do with the new movie, so I guess that's it. They just
they're not gonna get
filming
into
it.
like Thorn or like the new Jedi Order. Or
No, I don't think any of those characters exist at all.
Yeah, which is sad because Mara Jade's like a fucking cool character.
Disney said, "Damn, that girl's hot." Disney really said, "Fuck you" to all that shit. They were like, "Nope," because they even had like oh my god, look at that. I mean, look at that baseball. Anyway,
that's a nice baseball, nice and round,
plump
baseball.
It's like the guy who like. To me, the lowest common denominator, or the lowest like form of humor, lowest common denominator. Look at me trying to sound smart. Form of entertainment is like Robot Chicken. Have you ever watched that show?
Yeah, I've seen it.
To me, it's like one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life.
It's got
Just
its
humor wise.
moments.
For me, humor wise. And then they were gonna give him his own like Star Wars like type of show using that humor, where it was computer generated.
Right.
And I think it's Seth Green.
Yeah.
And like they took that show and they threw it right into the fucking stratosphere. They actually made like 60 episodes of it.
And they never
So
aired
I assume one day they're gonna probably release it in some form. Good Lord Almighty! Yikes! Sweet Jesus! Sorry, we're getting distracted here. There's posters of Brandon Ruth shirtless. Anyway, no, but anyway, it's actually a girl. So, but people are gonna be like, oh my god. But oh, you hear that? We're going to church.
Yeah, let's go to church.
The church of butt fucking.
You know what? Let's go to church.
Let's go. Can we record it in there and just be like,
no,
talk loudly
that's just
about
sacrilege.
having sex?
That's sacrilege.
That was a thing a couple of years ago when this couple had sex for a radio station.
Oh, at the WoW or whatever.
Yeah. Sex for Sam, and it was for an Opie Anthony radio show, and they got arrested for it. And the guy died. Like the guy's like 40 something. He died of a heart attack.
I don't know why it's a big deal.
Well, you know,
like why they would.
People
cancel
worship
it.
there. People were having sex, so I think it's kind of a big deal for them.
Well, you know, those people that are worshiping came out of vaginas, which were impregnated with penises. So
I thought it was a stork that did it.
That's true.
It wasn't the Holy Ghost that made it.
Well, there's 2 options. It's a stork or it's a penis and a vagina.
Yeah, who would want to put their penis in a vagina? You ever seen one of those things?
It's true.
Remember I told you a couple of weeks ago?
What?
It's almost like when I don't even want to get into it. Never mind.
Okay.
All I know is like doing that is almost like looking for keys or change.
What?
when you finger somebody.
Ew.
Oh, so you don't like to finger? There you go, ladies. Because Danny wants you to just sit on his face.
Well, the idea of looking for
coins. So there's a feeling. It's like it's almost like when you put in your fingers inside of a car seat.
I know. I don't want to think of that. I don't like that metaphor right there.
But anyway, so yeah, we're basically here in New York, the hub of
the hub of stupidity.
Danny, as much as
lack of culture.
As much as Danny and I have such a great repertoire, is it repertoire? Or is it
repertoire?
No, that's not right. I always use the wrong word.
Sexual tension.
Yeah, as long as we don't actually see each other for like 6 months up to a time. Sorry to break the
we talk
illusion.
all the time on the internet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. We do. And so it's funny where I'm like,
we're in constant. That's the one thing Facebook is good for.
That's true, because if you're not reading,
if you don't want to hear about someone's cat update
or how one race is better than the other,
or someone stubbed their toe.
I remember reading something on Tumblr where this is why like I make sure I have 2 different Tumblr accounts. One is for the horror deconstruction, and one is my own personal one where like I'll throw art up or something.
Yeah.
And that one I kind of just follow anybody on my personal one. And then I look and I'm like, I read some of the shit these people write, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Nothing is worse than YouTube.
Well, YouTube, I can just watch the video and not pay attention. But Tumblr, you're kind of forced because you look at the images and then you see the text.
Yeah.
And there was like something where something about they posted, oh, this certain race I'm not attracted to, so don't call me racist. And they're like, oh no, it is racist because. Like, what if people just have preferences? Like, no, because that makes the person subhuman. And then I was like, in my head, I'm like, if that person did like dating another race, you would find the way to say, oh, you're just trying to subjugate them in your own way. You know what I mean? Like, there's no winning. Because I at least dated most of the rainbow. That's me.
Right.
I dated a white girl,
You dated a blue girl.
Japanese girl.
You dated a man from the Blue Man Group.
He had a good head. This one was I think Colombian / black / Puerto Rican girl.
Right.
She was fun. So I'm not like Danny who just wants one tone of skin.
No, I like all
put his
women.
white
I like
power
every
on.
race pretty much, but nobody's
Cute
into
girl.
me. I'm a terrible flirt. I'm like fucking Woody Allen or something.
Do you-
Except I'm not into children.
I was about to say, do you walk around with do you date their stepdaughters and shit like that?
You know,
Jesus.
maybe if I could find someone that adopted a 16-year-old girl, I could get with them and then date their daughter.
Jesus Christ. And then you hear that kind of music in the background. And he's like,
That'd be
oh
great.
my God, I gotta date your daughter. Oh. Was that a video? I don't know. But anyway, so there you go. So if you want to date, if you're beautiful, I got the fever. Because I'm olive skin, I'm Puerto Rican, basically, so I'm already, I think I have Haitian blood in me. I'm not sure.
Is that what
But
it
there's just something really beautiful about that. This is like the most race. I'm sure this is
We're
a
not
very
being
racist
racist.
episode.
We're being complimentary.
Let's just talk about horror movies. So anyway,
All right.
somebody will
Let's
find
go back to Hatia then.
somebody will find a Hatia. Hatia. The fucking planet Hatia. Anyway. But no, it's
Let's
just
talk
me.
about some horror movies. What do we got here?
So horror movies and horror series that you would recommend for people to watch,
Okay, well,
to seek out.
I mean, although we were talking about it earlier, I haven't seen all of it,
X-Files,
but well, X-Files, yes, but no, I would say like the Hannibal, even though I haven't watched all of it, it is like artistically amazing.
There was a show called American Gothic that played on CBS a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Really fucking
I've been
good.
hearing quite a bit of Penny Dreadful. I need to see.
Yeah, it's almost like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, though. I think
My dad
because
was
it's the
saying
same thing.
Dorian Gray is in it, and Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Amina Harker's in it too. So Frankenstein, right? You just said that.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Because they're all like Victor Von Frankenstein, but they're all basically it's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Since those characters, the ownership rights to them don't exist anymore. Anybody can use those characters. So
Okay.
I'm sure Alan Moore is like fucking goals, all mad with his powers, upset that they're making a
I heard
show.
it's
That's
good.
basically what it is.
My
It's-
dad saw it. He said it was great.
I'll check it out. I mean,
My
there's
dad has generally okay taste.
it's funny because it's Josh Hartnett, and Josh Hartnett was basically offered a while back. He was offered to play Batman, Superman, and he turned all those
He
down.
would not be a good Batman. Or
I like
Superman.
Josh Hartnett. I don't think people like Josh Hartnett that much, but
He's good.
but he's in this show now because he can't be in any fucking movies that make any money, so it's like
Right.
weird. But
I don't know. Yeah, I want to see that.
he was in
show.
The Faculty, and The Faculty I thought was fucking stupid.
I love that movie.
Did you?
It's stupid, but it's supposed to be stupid. It's
I remember watching
fun,
it.
You know?
I don't know. I think that was the beginning of when I thought Robert Rodriguez was fucking up, but that's just me. And I still haven't seen the show, the From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV show.
I haven't either.
So I don't know, because it's on El Rey Network, and I don't get that channel. And I'm like, oh, fuck this.
What is that channel?
That's his channel. Robert Rodriguez has a channel
I didn't know.
on Time Warner Cable, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have time work.
And but at least he does stuff like he'll have John Carpenter week and stuff.
He's like a
'Cause they were interviewing
interesting guy. He like made his whole career from nothing.
Because I was watching, I was watching like I was reading a John Carpenter interview because they brought it up that he likes he's doing that special with Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, what movie did we? Oh, Vampires. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that episode hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know. I guess I could release this before those episodes. Yeah, I guess I will because it's timely. But I don't know. Like John Carpenter, I feel bad, man.
I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like there'll be these guys are so talented. They'll come out with these amazing things, and then they just get progressively suckier as they go on. It's like, are they running out of ideas? Did they get lazy?
There's your money that's taken away. Because I didn't mention this in the episode because we already recorded the Vampires episode, which is coming up, I think, at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake. I saw The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
And that movie's fucking great. Like, it really is really good. And that's like Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese has been making movies forever.
That's with Michael Douglas?
No, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm thinking of
Wall
just
Street
Wall
2 or
Street.
something.
Yeah.
And the Smell of Money, whatever the fuck it was called. But anyway, I watched The Wolf of Wall Street, and it stars Henry Zabrowski from last podcast. He's pretty funny.
Okay.
And I know you're like, who? But like I watched that, and this movie's great. Watching, I was like, it looks like it's a movie,
Yeah.
And then I watch Vampires, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I go from one director that's been out there forever making movies, you know what I mean? And then I watch fucking Vampires, and I'm like, oh man.
Well, you know who I could say hasn't reached their peak yet, and they're still just as good, is Ben Wheatley.
Yeah,
From
he's
everything
good.
I've seen.
Yeah, I still have to see. I was watching one of his movies, but I didn't get to finish it. It's called Sightseers. It's about a couple that go on a sightseeing trip, and they end up just either accidentally killing people on the road.
Okay.
And it's like a dark comedy.
I want to see like everything the guy made, and also what the fuck, the guy, the bear Jew. What the hell is his name?
Eli Roth.
Eli Roth. Everything I've seen of his is like pretty damn decent.
He produced the one that we're going to be recording.
Yeah, the
for,
Ty West one.
The Ty West film, the Sacrament. Is that what it's called?
I have bad. I know you saw it already. I'm gonna watch it, but I have bad feelings about it just because
The Sacrament.
Ty West isn't.
He's hit or miss.
Yeah, like Innkeepers was okay.
I like
M is for Miscarriage was terrible.
The worst, yeah.
It was the worst one, hands down.
Out of ABCs of Death. M is for
26
Miscarriage.
things. Even Quack was better.
Yeah.
Like.
At least that had a punchline in it.
And that was funny. Like it was. And it had nice. Like M is for Miscarriage was the worst one in the whole fucking bunch. And
so I don't know. That's the same feeling I got because then I was watching it, and I mean we'll get into it when we do it. So you guys will hear that next month when we do True Crime Month, and I'll go into my feelings because I have certain feelings about that film, and I know I had a general idea of the month because the month is basically based on films. I was looking for the worst films based on real crime, and I mean worst films like just poorly made, so it can be funny. But there's like a moral dilemma because these movies are based on real people, and we know we laugh at shit that happens to people in real life all the time, But like there was something that stuck with me watching The Sacrament that I'll get into, and I was like, am I gonna have the same kind of laugh when we do the another one that you guys gotta watch, but it's very rare, is The Secret Life of Jeffrey Dahmer. Because I mean that one, I saw parts of it, and it is poorly
That's the
made.
one that I saw too.
Yeah, the one with the barbell.
It's
terrible. It's really incredibly poorly made, like really horrible. And
but you know what? This should happen in like the 70s or something. Like who are we insulting?
1986, I think, was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Still, who are we insulting at this point? Like,
dead people, I guess. But yeah, it's really like in The Secret Life of Jeffrey Dahmer, he's like he's narrating it like Dexter and shit. But this is like an old movie from the 90s, I think, and it's just like poor. And I was just listening to a podcast about his life and shit about Jeffrey Dahmer, and there's just so much shit that he was into that you're like, wow.
No, that guy was sick. He wanted to create like fucking sex slaves, so he would like inject acid into their brains and shit. Like,
well, there you go. On that note, Danny, what's the final word?
Antioxidants.
The horror deconstruction.